win that day for me.
Gets the snap, he's going to Kennedy in the end zone, past his man, hauls it in for a Spartans touchdown, and Homestead will take the lead. It's blown up, Austin Handel meets him in the backfield, he'll lose a yard.
He's going deep again, and it's caught. Touchdown, Spartans.
That is going to do it. The Homestead Spartans pull off the upset at Beaver Stadium. As fall break comes to an end, so too does the regular season as the 5-3 Homestead Spartans welcome in the 1-7 Concordia Cadets. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Dave Walters Memorial Stadium. Braxton all joined alongside Atticus Dean. And Atticus, it's hard to believe, but tonight the regular season comes to an end.
Yeah, Braxton, it feels like the season just flown by, but with the playoffs, while they are coming up pretty shortly, this game could still have some big SAC implications.
Yeah, Homestead would need a lot of help, but they could win a share of the SAC title tonight. We'll take you all through the scenarios a little bit later on in the pregame show. Concordia trying to build some momentum with the final regular season game of the year before sectionals begin for them next week. Stay tuned. Week 9 of Spartan football is next.
Rethink your limits.
Braxton and Atticus Dean back with you on the OPS pregame report from Dave Walters Memorial Stadium. As we enter into the OPS pregame report, let's take a look at Homestead's last game, and it was a 25-0 victory in the defense. Really the standout performers in that one.
Yeah, the Spartans defense has been great all year, but this is personally, I think, their best game of the year. Northside, they had the second highest scoring offense in the conference at the time, and they held them to a goose egg. It was a great performance from the defense, and the offense did a good job of taking advantage of those said defensive stops.
It was the second shutout for the Spartans defense this year, and just a short time ago, I got to catch up with Homestead head coach Chad Zolman to hear his thoughts on that game and what to expect tonight.
It's time for the Coach's Pregame Report, brought to you by Homestead Media.
Coach, last week your team got the 25-0 win versus Northside. It was the second straight shutout at home for the defense. How impressed were you with your team's bounce-back performance?
I mean, they did what we were asking them to do. It was just to refocus, regather after that tough loss, and they did. I thought, like you said, the defense played really well. And then offense, I feel like we left some points on the field, I think, that were available, but, I thought they did a really good job too. So it was a good win.
And then this week, a little bit different with no school for your players, so they could focus a little bit more on football. How did that change the practice routine this week?
Well, first of all, we went in the mornings, so that was different. But as far as what we do each week, we stay consistent. We prep for this team. It's like we did everybody else, and just talked about things we need to get better with, and looking ahead, what do we need to adjust as we get to Game 9 and then get into Game 10. So those are the things we worked on all week.
You mentioned Game 10, 2 weeks until postseason play begins. Final regular season game tonight. What do you hope to see from your team?
Execution. Solid up front on both sides of the ball. Make sure we're assignment sound and productive efficient on offense is, I guess, what we're looking for.
All right, thank you, Coach. Best of luck tonight.
Thank you.
So taking a look at Homestead's schedule now, they're 5-3 on the year. This would be their chance to have their first winning season. They've been 500 each of the last 3 years. The first winning season since 2021, and a little bit of up and down, but that really good bounce back last week, and Spartans 5-3 on the season.
Yeah, that Northside game not only was a great bounce back just after Carroll, but also going into playoffs. I mean, that's a huge momentum win, because if they were to fall to Northside in that game, who knows how things could shape up for Homestead and how the implications for this game would change. But you mentioned a lot of ups and downs, but for the most part, the Spartans have been able to have a lot of ups more than downs, but some of those downs have been pretty bad.
And then meanwhile for Concordia, it has been a tough year as they find themselves ranked below 200 in the SAC computer rankings and a record of just 1-7 on the year.
I mean, it's just the offensive struggles. They're struggling to put up points. They were able to beat Wayne despite the error on the graphic there, so we apologize for that. But just the offensive struggles have been pretty bad. I mean, you see some games they aren't able to put up very many points at all. They were only able to put up 7 against Southside last time. So it's the offensive struggles that have really limited this team.
Yeah, that was a 21-20 victory for Concordia in that one. Their only win so far this year. And last time out, they faced Southside. And, man, their offense was just completely shut down as they fell 42-7.
Yeah, well, I talked about how their offense has been limiting them. Well, this game is a prime example of that. They had just 107 yards on the game. That's really not a recipe for success, especially against a team at Southside, who they've been in a lot of very competitive games this year. And Concordia, if they can just figure things out offensively, it gives them a bit of a chance going into sectionals to pull off an upset win.
Now let's take a look at the SAC standings now. Personally, this is my favorite graphic we have for you tonight, because as we enter Week 9, final week of the regular season, Week 7 of conference play, there are 5 teams that mathematically still have a chance to win the conference title. 3 separate scenarios that can play out for you here. If Dwenger wins tonight against Southside, nothing else matters. They are the SAC champions outright. They hold the tiebreaker over Carroll. If Carroll wins their game against Bishop Luers and Dwenger loses their game against Southside, Carroll would be the SAC champions. If both of those teams end up losing, then Homestead, Northrop, and or Luers could force a 3-4 or 5-way tie to share the SAC bell. So 5 teams still mathematically alive. We'll keep you updated with scores throughout the night. Bishop Dwenger, they're the only team that completely controls their own destiny, and there you see the games for tonight.
Yeah, Braxton, I personally love when football brings a lot of possibly unpredictable things to happen, but you mentioned Dwenger. They control their destiny. They have to feel like they're in a great spot. They've proved that they're a great team all season long, and they just have to go out and do it for one more week to claim the SAC bell. But a lot of things can happen. The game of football is very unpredictable.
And something we haven't talked about yet going through this entire pregame show, you see that number 1 on your screen right now down on a knee? That's Michael White, the starting quarterback who has not played since Week 1 with an injury. He is active to go today. We don't know if he's going to be starting it. Both he and Logan Frieden were warming up before the game, but it's got to be huge for the Spartans to have him active once again.
Yeah, whether they put him at quarterback or maybe even wide receiver. He used to play wide receiver at Summit Middle School, so that's also a possibility. But just having Michael White active, that gives a lot, I'm sure, a lot of confidence to the Spartans coaching and just the rest of the team in general, knowing you have that option if something were to go horribly wrong for them. So Michael White, potentially a name to watch out for in this one.
And this could be a big opportunity to get him back up to speed before postseason play begins in 2 weeks. 2 weeks again. We don't know who's going to be starting at quarterback quite yet, but I would imagine we're going to get to see each of them get some reps with the first team offense tonight. Again, he has not played since the 3rd quarter back in Week 1 against Westfield. It's been Logan Frieden's team ever since when White went down with that injury. A pretty speedy recovery, though, for the injury he had on his throwing shoulder. So glad to see that. Glad to see him active again. Just got the coin toss. We're about to get this game underway. So Homestead leads this series 10-0 all time, including a 42-0 victory last season. We're going to try to keep that win streak going in this one. Coach Zolman 9-0. All-time versus Concordia. Homestead won the toss and elected to defer, so we'll get to see Concordia's offense, led by Eli Trent, out on the field first to begin this game. Knipscher has it teed up at the 40-yard line for the Spartans. A beautiful night for football. Upper 60s, just a light breeze, just perfect temperatures for mid-October. Ball teed up at the 40 and ready to go. Hard to believe, just 48 minutes remain in the regular season. 12 of those minutes on the clock right now as we're about to get this game underway from Homestead High School. Knipscher gets the ready for play, and he'll run up to it. We know he has a big leg as he boots this one away, and he's going to put a lot on it And we see that big leg right away, a touchback, making it all the way out the back of the end zone. Concordia's offense will start at the 20.
And Knipscher, for the past couple weeks, that's been sort of his strategy, just put it in the back of the end zone to where the other team doesn't have a chance to return it. They did that a lot against Northside. They did it against Snyder. They did it any chance they could get. So just forcing the offense to have to do a lot more work due to the fact that a big return is not possible. And now, interesting to see how this goes. The Spartans defense at home, once again, they've been lights out all season long versus an offense, Concordia, that's been struggling this season. So for Concordia, if they can just take care of the football and just have nice, small, nice, monumental plays, it would be huge for them.
Spartans are 3-0 at home so far this year. As Trent will come up and get the snap, and we're going to get whistles on the first play of the game. Likely going to see an offensive penalty here against Concordia. As the two running backs we'll be talking about tonight for the Cadets, Abe Sarway and Bladen Paulin. They were the two in the backfield on that first down play, and it is delay of game here against Concordia, so that'll be a 5-yard penalty. It'll be 1st and 15 to begin this one.
Not a great start for Concordia, an offense that has struggled this year. First play of the game, already finding yourself moving backwards rather than forwards, not something you want to do, especially against this Spartan defense, but some adversity Concordia is going to have to try to overcome.
Homestead defense allows just 19.4 points per game. That's 5th in the conference, but of course you eliminate those Carroll and Westfield games. That's a significantly lower average. Concordia's offense just 12.1 points per game. Trent's going to hand it off here on first down, right up the middle. That's in the hands of Paulin, and he's going to have a pickup of about a yard, and it'll be 2nd down and 9.
And for Concordia, it's going to be hard for them to get things going if they want to try to establish the run game early, as usually when you try to establish the run game early, it takes pressure off your quarterback. Well, Concordia, they might not have that luxury this game, as the defensive front of the Spartans have been very good this year, especially ever since they got Nick Brown back. He missed the first 3 games due to injury, but ever since he's been back, the Spartans defense is elevated to a whole nother level.
Excuse me, 2nd down and 14 because of the penalty as Trent comes back. Take the snap here and looking to throw on 2nd down, and he's running out of time. Handel brings the pressure, and Trent just going to have to throw it out of bounds, and all of a sudden it is 3rd and very long, 14 here for Concordia.
The Spartans defense is trying to bring pressure like they like to do all season long, no matter who the opponent is. They like to get to the quarterback early to throw them off the game, and so far the Cadets feeling that pressure. Trent barely able to escape without being sacked there.
So here we go on 3rd down and long. As Trent will come back up, 2 backs behind him, 2 receivers to his right, 1 to the left. Trent takes the snap, looking to pass on the 2nd play in a row. Doesn't have anyone to go to, and he starts to run with it. He's going to get out to about the 23-yard line. That's a decent pickup there of about 9, but still a long ways to go to get the 1st down. They're going to have to punt this one away.
And it was Lynch there for the Spartans making the initial contact to slow Trent down, and then the rest of the Spartans defense able to catch up and stop him in his tracks, but not a great offensive drive to start for the Cadets, and Eli Trent also going to be the one punting it away.
Trent has been their punter on almost every punt this year, all but 1. Kennedy's going to call fair catch right at midfield. Homestead's offense going to get good field position. Moment of truth. It is Logan Frieden leading the offense onto the field for this opening drive.
And currently White not out there lined up at receiver or any other position, so it looks like it's going to be Logan Frieden just controlling this offense like he has been the past couple, or this ever since Michael White got hurt. But curious to see if and when the Spartans go to White in this game.
And for a first-year starter, Frieden has played very well in most of the games this season, so understandable why the Spartans have him out to start this game. The junior will bring Kennedy in motion here on 1st down in the gun. Kennedy takes the snap, and he's going to go play action to Bardwell and then throw it over to Kennedy on the near side. Gets a block from England, has it out across the 40-yard line. That's going to be an 11-yard gain and 1st down for Homestead.
And Frieden and Kennedy, that connection has been very solid all year long, and starting things off really with a nice little screen pass to the outside. And the Spartans, they like to get their guys out in space, especially they like to have Kennedy out in space with blockers in front of them and able to move the chains already for Homestead.
Ball at the 39-yard line, 2 wideouts on each side. Bardwell again the running back on first down and 10. It's going to be a handoff again to Bardwell up the middle, and he's going to get it to the 35-yard line. Caught a pickup of 4. That'll make it 2nd and 6.
And Bardwell had himself a great touchdown last week against Northside. It was a very long run, 4-6. In a game that he'd been relatively quiet, he found one play to generate a huge spark, and they're going to look to rely on that again here tonight.
Again, 2 receivers on each side. More of a pistol look, though, on 2nd down. Freedom's looking to pass. He's going deep on early on, going for Kennedy. A late grab and no flag is going to come in after that play. That was Eli Trent in coverage, the quarterback who doubles as a safety. Little grab, but he gets away with it and saves a touchdown. It'll be 3rd and 6.
Yeah, the entire Spartans sideline there wanted a penalty. I honestly thought they were going to give it to the Spartans, but nonetheless, now at 3rd and 6 for Homestead.
Homestead's offense, 38% on 3rd down this year. It's going to be a hard count from Freedom, but the Cadets don't bite. Bardwell lined up behind Freedom here on 3rd down, and he's looking to pass immediately. Has some time, but no one open. He's going to take off with it out to the 30-yard line, and the line again was the 29, and that's being marked at the 28 right now, so I believe he'll have enough to move the chains.
Freedom likes to take off whenever he sees fit in there. Felt the pocket collapsing and no other options. Able to beat the Cadets to the line to gain. So a big gutsy run by Freedom to extend this drive.
1st down and 10 from the 28-yard line. Back to the pistol here for Homestead. It's going to be play action once again. Got a man in the flat. That's Kennedy. He cuts it upfield inside the 10-yard line before he's drugged down from behind, as ultimately that was Bryson Kelly who makes the tackle. There's a flag down at the 34-yard line, and it's going to be holding against Homestead.
Well, big play there, wiped due to the holding penalty. So Homestead, they've been pretty good. They've been pretty disciplined when it comes to those holding penalties the past couple weeks, but not a great one to get there, as you had a huge play with Kennedy once again, but you have to go ahead and unfortunately for the Homestead back up.
See, they were counting off from about the 27, so it might be not a full 20 yards to go, or maybe more like 19. But either way, a long way to go here on 1st down for Homestead. 2 receivers on each side. Back to the pistol here for Freedom. He'll bring Bean in motion. That means 3 receivers on the right. Freedom now gets the snap. He's looking that direction, but it's going to Kennedy and just a little bit low. Kennedy was wide open in the seam, as Trent was the one in coverage, but couldn't connect with him. It'll be 2nd down and 19 now.
The Cadets defensive line, credit to them. They've been able to get some pressure on Freedom there, and maybe pressure got to Freedom there, not able to deliver the best ball to his wide open man across the middle, but Homestead's going to have to adapt and now face a 2nd and long on a play that they had a 1st down, but it was wiped due to a penalty.
2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left in the gun. Freedom will take the snap and hand it off to Bardwell, and he's not going very far as the right side of the line collapsed there for Homestead. Luke Hayworth, the sophomore, able to make the tackle. It'll be 3rd down and about 18 now for Homestead.
And early in this drive, it looked like the Spartans were going to be able to move the ball very well, but the Cadets defense doing a good job of taking advantage of that holding call.
Hard count again, a little bit of movement on the near side. That's Crocker, but doesn't go across the line, so stays 3rd and 18 here. Freedom goes play action, and he's looking deep on 3rd down. He's got time, but now he's running out of it, and he is going to be sacked as he is taken down by Carson Dale. That's going to be a big loss, and Homestead's going to have to punt the ball away as the Cadets defense stands strong on the first drive of the game.
And a drive that was going so well for the Spartans, and head coach Chad Zolman there on your screen instantly turns to dust as Carson Dale making a big play. Freedom tried to step up in the pocket, but nothing doing. The Cadets defense holding strong on the first drive.
So Knipscher will come on to punt it away, and this looks like a pretty good one. It's going to hit around the 10. It's rolling. Spartans, though, can't get there to down it, so it'll be a touchback. And Concordia will start at the 20-yard line. So Concordia's offense does nothing on their first possession. They actually go backwards, but the defense stand strong, and now their offense gets another crack from the 20-yard line.
Interesting to see how the Cadets offense is going to adapt and take advantage of their defense getting a good stop, as offensively for Concordia, there really wasn't a whole lot to speak of on their first drive. They tried to go up the middle, but it was just great defense by the Spartans, especially that defensive line of Homestead, making it very difficult for Trent and the rest of the Cadets offense to move the ball.
So they'll break the huddle here with about 15 seconds left on the play clock. It'll be first down and 10, more of a normal shotgun formation here for Concordia as opposed to what we saw on that first drive. And here's the snap. Train is going to hand it off to Pollen on the first carry, and he's going to get right around the line of scrimmage, maybe a pickup of 1 to be 2nd and 9.
And the Cadets right now, I like what they're trying to do. They're trying to take the pressure off Trent. They're trying to make it to where he doesn't have to play hero ball and find ways to pick up first downs. But that Spartans defense is all over the run game from Concordia early in this one. So unless Concordia figures something out with who to block or what type of runs to call, it's going to be rough for them to get anything going on the ground.
2nd down and 9 here for Trent as they let the play clock wind. He'll hand it off again to Pollen. Again, not going very far. Right back to the line of scrimmage as looks like Nate Lynch on the tackle there for the Spartans. It'll be 3rd down and 9.
And Lynch and John Baird, they had dealt with injuries, but they're now both back in the starting lineup for the Spartans. Very good for Homestead and their fans to have those two back come playoff time as it's approaching, as both those guys have had stellar seasons defensively. And
Baird, his first game back from injury. It's this defense that has been decimated by injuries all year. It seems like one guy at a time or multiple games at a time. They've been rotating, being injured, but a lot of them have gotten healthy as the play clock is winding down. Homestead showing pressure here on 3rd down. Trent's going to get the snap from the gun, looking to pass, but the line is coming through for Homestead. Trent cuts it upfield, makes one guy miss, and he's going to have a pickup of 13 and a first down for Concordia.
Well, I talked about Trent might not wanting to play hero ball. Well, they're having to do that thing on the ground. What a run there by Trent, making a couple guys miss from Homestead. And for the Spartans, I bet that's a play they wish they could have back. They had Trent in their sights, just not able to make the tackle, and the drive is extended for the Cadets.
As we cross over the midway point of this first quarter, still 0-0. As they officially marked it at the 35-yard line, so like a gain of 14 on that carry. Trent will come back in the gun looking to pass. He's going to dump it off, and that is going to be completed out to the far side of the field. And that'll be a pickup of about 7. It'll be 2nd and 3.
And a nice play there by the Cadets, just a nice little bootleg option, getting Trent out the pocket, trying to get him and give him space to make a huge play, and able to do just that.
So 2nd down and 3 here for Concordia. Trent will bring a man in motion, snap a little bit high, but able to handle it. And now he's going to be pressured, but get out of the pocket and have some time. Throws it over to the sideline, trying to find Henley Jr. And they are going to call it a catch, I believe. As they talk it over, no, incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
Well, how about that play there from Trent? It looked like he was going to get swallowed up by the defensive line, and the Spartans were able to spin out and almost make a play, but Henley Jr. not quite able to stay inbound. So now a 3rd and short situation for the Cadets. I like them staying in the air as they haven't been able to find success on the ground. I think getting Trent out of the pocket, giving him some space to maybe take off if he sees fit would be good here.
Pollen is the back here on 3rd down. Whistles come in, though. And we might have our first timeout of this game. And no, it's going to be a legal substitution against Homestead. That's a 5-yard penalty. Too many men on the field. They're going to hand the Cadets the first down for free.
Well, the Cadets not having to do too much work on that 3rd down, and their offense is starting to show good signs here. They've been able to move the ball pretty efficiently. Trent has been able to do a lot on the ground with his legs, whether it be creating angles to throw to an open man downfield or just taking off of himself. Trent's legs have been paving the path for Concordia so far.
First down and 10. Again, a man in motion here for the Cadets. Trent's going to hand it off to Pollen, and Homestead's ready for it that time. 4 guys through the line immediately. Nick Brown was the first.
Well, I always talk about how impressive it is of the Spartans defense, how they're able to do things so well as a unit. I mean, they're not just one guy forced to make a play, about 4 different Spartans there. Nick Brown able to make the initial contact, and his teammates able to support him and combine for that tackle. And that was a huge loss of 3 there. Puts the Cadets in a tough spot to keep this drive going.
Homestead is stacking the box right now, trying to assert their dominance on the line of this game, and has led to some situations there where Trent's been able to use his wheels to get out of the pocket and find space. I mean, look at it here. 7 guys stacked up front for Homestead. Trent, again, though, not having a lot of time. Bear gets an arm to him, but Trent breaks free, cuts back. He's getting it out across midfield before Hollingsworth and Rogers combine for the tackle.
Right now, Eli Trent looks like Houdini in that pocket, just finding ways to escape. I mean, once again, you talked about how much pressure the Spartans are bringing. It looked like he was surely going to be brought down, but just finds a way to fight forward, and his grit so far has helped the Cadets move the ball.
Trent, the leading rusher for the Cadets this year with over 580 yards, and that's despite the sacks he has taken throughout the season. He's still the leading rusher for this team. 3rd down and 6 now as they sit just past midfield of the Homestead 49-yard line. Trent will get the snap. He's going for the option play. He'll toss it out here on the near side to Solway, and he'll have a short pickup here, but still about 3 yards shy, maybe 4 of the line to gain. And right now the offense staying on the field for Concordia.
Well, Concordia, their offense has had a lot of nice plays in a row. I don't necessarily mind them going for it here as their defense held strong. And when Homestead had the ball at about midfield, they were still able to get a stop. So the offense staying out there, they trust in their defense.
And Solway again the back here on 4th down. He is more of their power back, hard count, and Homestead's going to get another penalty to move the chains here for Concordia as Anthony Fields jumps off sides.
Fields, one of the captains on this defense. You don't see mistakes like that from him very often, but nonetheless, it's another free 1st down for the Cadets. Whether they're planning on going for it or just trying to draw the Spartans off sides, they did just that, so their drive continues.
And Homestead looks so determined to try to get a sack, but a lot of their other parts of their defense is breaking down right now, whether that be contain of the quarterback or maybe just getting too antsy, wanting to bring the pressure there on 4th. It'll be 1st down and 10 now at the 41-yard line. 2 receivers to the left here, and Trent's going to look that way on 1st down, and it's going to be short-armed. And that time he was trying to find Caleb Geiger, but incomplete. Will make it 2nd and 10.
And you mentioned it was a great point. You mentioned just how antsy the Spartans defense looks to get a sack and how that is a good thing, but it also can harm them in some aspects. If they get too worked up about trying to get that sack, you mentioned containing the quarterback could be an issue because they get a little overzealous with their tackle attempts, or even the secondary could also face problems as they have trust in their guys up front to go get that sack. But if they aren't able to come away with it, could lead to some broken coverages. But so far, Trent hasn't had a whole lot of success down the field through the air quite yet.
2nd down and 10. Kelly, the receiver up top, but it's going to be handoff to Solway. His first actual carry, not counting the option, and it's going to be back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of half a yard, but it'll be 3rd and long here for Concordia.
And once again, for Concordia, they're trying to go up the middle. They're trying to get that to work, but just nothing doing so far. The guys up front for that Homestead defense doing a great job of really just stopping the Cadets in their tracks. And now a 3rd and long situation for the Cadets. I personally think they have their most success when they get Trent rolling outside the pocket, giving him space to work with.
Solway lined up to the right of Trent here on 3rd down. Going to bring Geiger in motion here, right to left. Trent takes the snap here. Spartans are blitzing again, throws it out to the near side, but incomplete. The intended target, Mike Henley Jr. that time. It's 4th down and long. And now Concordia might have to think about punting it. Of course, they could catch the Spartans off guard here, as Eli Trent is also their punter, so They wanted to try a hard count, but I wouldn't expect them to go for it from here. We'll see what they do.
Trying just another underthrow to his guy on the sideline. Was Zarelli in coverage, so the Spartans secondary are doing a good job of not allowing the Cadets to have a lot of easy passes, but so far, Cadets offense looks like they're still gonna go.
Yeah, still lined up out here, and they are gonna snap it. Trenton, though, has nowhere to go. Blown up immediately by John Bear, and he's gonna be taken down ultimately by Nate Lynch back behind midfield. That play ends up in a loss of 10 for Concordia, and the Homestead defense stands strong on 4th.
Well, we talked about how the Spartans defense wanted the sack. Well, they got it there when it mattered most on 4th down. Who else but John Bear and Nate Lynch, the 2 linebackers, making a huge play there to kill that Concordia drive. That took a lot of time off the clock and also kept that Spartans defense on their toes. But now it's up to the offense to go and capitalize on this turnover.
And roughly the same starting spot as last time, right around midfield at the plus 49-yard line. Frieden quarterback draw on 1st down. And it didn't look like he was going to have anything. He's going to fight forward for a pickup of 2. So it'll be 2nd down and 8.
Both teams not having a lot of success going up the gut with their runs, whether it be with the quarterback or the guy in the backfield. So credit to both defensive lines for both teams. And the Spartans, they like to establish the run game, but so far being tested by the Cadets.
2nd down and 8. Frieden looking to pass to Kennedy on the screen, far side. He's got him. He's getting it out to the 44-yard line. Pickup of 3, so it's going to be 3rd down and 5 now for Sparty.
Homestead going for these plays that, if they work out according to plan, they have big play potential, but the defense of Concordia not allowing those big plays to happen, as Kennedy's had some big screens, but nothing doing on 2nd down there.
In the pistol, Frieden gets the snap, going to Kennedy again. He has been the man tonight. He's got some space. He's at the 10. Geiger can't catch him. Touchdown, Spartans.
They finally go to Kennedy, not on a screen pass. They put him on a corner route, and a broken coverage by the Cadets leads to a 1 guy missing a tackle and an easy walk-in score for Carter Kennedy, and the Spartans strike first.
Kennedy has been the first read for Frieden almost all season. He's certainly been the first read tonight, and it works out there. And Homestead almost went scoreless in this first quarter, but they will put at least 6 on the board. Knipscher trying to tack on 1 more here for Homestead. An extra point on its way, and that one is down the middle. Now 11 of 15 on the year, so 7-0 Homestead. 55 seconds remain in quarter number 1.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Knipscher on to boot the ball away for the 2nd time tonight after Homestead strikes first in this regular season finale, 7-0. So Knipscher will come back on to kick it away. His first one went out the back of the end zone. Didn't even have a chance to be returned. Going the same direction. This one a lot higher. Concordia's going to be able to field it at the 5-yard line. And here they'll bring it up that far side of the field. It's Henley Jr. who will have it out to around the 20, about a yard shy at the 18 or 19-yard line. But it'll be 1st down and 10. Concordia starting at about the same spot they have their first 2 drives.
And they had a nice drive going there last time out, but the dogs on that Spartans defense able to finally get out the cage and get home to Trent on 4th down.
Trent will lead his offense back out onto the field. Moved the ball pretty well on that last drive, but I mentioned that Homestead got home on that 4th down play. So Concordia's offense, we'll see what they can do here. Just 107 yards of offense in that game last week against Southside. They already got about half that in this one as Trent hands it off to Solway on 1st down. Again, not much doing, about a yard. So he runs into the buzzsaw of Homestead's front 4, and it'll be 2nd and 9.
The Cadets have really been trying to get their run game established in this first quarter, but the Spartans defense has done a great job of just shutting it down from the get-go, as whether it be Solway or Paulin or whoever in the backfield, just no success to be found from the Cadets.
Yeah, really the only rushing success they've had is with Trent so far. He's evading defenders. You see the score starting to roll across your screen, so keep you updated with all the SAC action here on finale week. 2nd down and 9. Trent looking to pass from the gun. He's going deep, trying to find Geiger. That's picked off by Hollingsworth, but I don't think it's going to stand as there's a flag down at right where that play happened. So we're awaiting the official call, but it would have been Hollingsworth's 3rd interception of the year, but looking like it's going to be a PI call against the Spartans. Doesn't officially been signaled yet, but here we go. Pass interference against Homestead. That'll be a 15-yard penalty. Give Concordia an automatic 1st down.
And not only the Spartans, but the Spartans fans a bit irate about the call there. They had a great defensive scheme there. It led to an interception, but just a little too much contact before the ball reached the hands of Hollingsworth. So another play that results in a lot of yards for the Cadets.
So time for one more play in this first quarter, and Concordia will snap it from the 36-yard line. As they come back to the line, avoiding the interception due to the penalty for Homestead. All right in the middle of the field for this final play of the first period. Trent takes his time now, gets the snap, and he's going to keep it himself on the play fake, but he's not going anywhere. Homestead maybe starting to catch on as Rogers was there, Hollingsworth in the area as well. It'll be 2nd down and 10 when we come back. 1 quarter of play in the books. Concordia hanging around 7-0 after 1.
They have shared everyday life with the people they serve. These deep ties give RT, Colin, and every member of Team Green Law the local Fort Wayne knowledge and insight to know the best way to help you get the recovery you deserve. See the difference local experience makes. For a free consultation, visit us online at teamgreenlaw.com. Team Green Law, for you, with you.
1 quarter of play in the books here at Homestead High School, and the Homestead Spartans lead the Concordia Cadets 7-0. Also 1 quarter of play in the books over at Charger Stadium. Carroll and Bishop Luers are tied at 0. We'll keep you updated with the scores throughout the night as we crown an SAC champion by the end of tonight's action. Again, Homestead is mathematically still alive, but they would need a lot of help as it's 2nd down and 10 here for Concordia to begin the second quarter. Pump fake, and now Trent looking that direction, incomplete. That time trying to find Bryson Kelly on the 2-step, but falls to the ground. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Kane Nancarroll, the one in coverage there, doing a good job just shadowing Kelly's steps there, not allowing him to get enough space to haul that ball in, and now a 3rd and long once again for the Cadets.
Ball marked at the 36-yard line as Concordia not gaining any yards on each of the last 2 plays following the pass interference penalty called against Homestead. Spartans showing pressure here. Fields playing really far up. Hollingsworth, usually a safety, looks more like a linebacker here on 3rd down. And here comes the pressure from the Spartans. 5 of them rushing in. Trent rolls out. Fields can't get to him. And Trent's going to have the angle to get the 1st down for Concordia. His wheels is keeping this offense alive.
Well, Eli Trent there just improvising on almost every single play. Once again, the Spartans brought that pressure, and we mentioned how they really want to go for the sack. Well, due to them not being able to get it, it leads to a wide open lane for Trent to scramble for the 1st down. Not doing a great job containing the quarterback is Homestead.
No contain and no spies on the quarterback. Surprising to see now after Trent has just dominated on the ground for a quarter of this one. Trent will bring the offense back here on 1st down and 10. Play clock is down to 5. Homestead again showing pressure here. And they're going to bring 5, maybe 6, and it's going to blow that play up. As going to be a loss of a yard, maybe back to the line of scrimmage on that carry there for Paulin. It'll be 2nd down.
The only success the Cadets have had on the ground has been with Trent. Surprising to me that they haven't gone for more quarterback design runs, especially, I mean, Trent has shown in this one he's more than capable in using his legs to find a way to get the 1st down for the Cadets, as Paulin or Saleh, both in the backfield, haven't had much success.
Bishop Dwenger is up 3-0 against Southside, early 2nd quarter of that one. If Dwenger wins that game, they win the SAC. Trent throwing it here out of the gun and incomplete on the far side of the field, trying to find Henley Jr., but it falls to the turf. Now it'll be 3rd down here for the Cadets.
And great coverage there from Gillespie, just shadowing Henley's every step and timing the contact well to make it almost impossible to haul out one in for the Cadets. And another 3rd and long situation for the Cadets.
Homestead's defense allowing just a 23% conversion rate for opponents this year. This option play comes out once again on the toss to Salway, and Homestead shuts it down. This time Milo Lovelace stands him up behind the line of scrimmage. They're going to give him the line with forward progress, but it's going to be 4th and long, and Concordia likely going to have to punt this one away.
And the Homestead defense is all over the Cadets offense, just seeming to know what the Cadets are going to do before the ball is even snapped. The defense of the Spartans really showing out here, even when it seems like the Cadets, their offense, when they have the power to move the ball, just the Spartans defense able to adapt quick enough to stop them in their tracks.
Carter Kennedy standing at the 24-yard line to receive this punt. Trent will boot it away, and it's going to hit right at the 25. Take a pretty friendly Cadet roll down to the 11-yard line. It'll stop there. Homestead's going to have their worst field position of the night so far.
It's a test for the Spartans offense. While we've been talking about the Spartans defense, the Cadets defense has also done a great job in this one so far, and they've made the Spartans work really hard to get those 7 points. And now the Spartans are going to have a nice lengthy drive here if they want to put points up on the board.
Reedon again at quarterback for this drive. 1st down and 10. 10:03 to go in the 1st half. 2 receivers spread on each side here. Kennedy will come in motion right to left. Frieden takes the snap here, and he's going to go to Kennedy. Almost deflected, but Kennedy will able to cut it up the field for a gain of 1. So it'll be 2nd down and 9.
And it was Trent there making the tackle on Kennedy, so it seems like no matter what the situation is for the Cadets, Eli Trent is going to go make a play. And the Spartans, their offense seemingly one-dimensional right now, just going to the man on your screen right there. Carter Kennedy and the Cadets maybe starting to figure it out.
Pistol look on 2nd down. A handoff this time to Bardwell. He's pretty quiet in the 1st quarter. He's going to have a good gain here, about a yard shy of the line to gain, so a pickup of 8. And it'll be 3rd down and 1 for Homestead.
And after that play, Liam Moore a little bit shaken up, a little bit of a limp there. So hopefully for Homestead, he's okay. And 3rd and short for the Spartans. Finally able to find some success on the ground with Bardwell, but can they do it for one more play to move those chains? Or are they going to go through the air to Kennedy? They'd like to go to him on those screen passes, and they have Kennedy in one-on-one coverage right now.
See what they do here. It's going to be a handoff to Bardwell on back-to-back plays. He's not going to get to the line to gain. He is shy. Might have been shy of the line of scrimmage. So it's 4th down now for Homestead, and right now the offense is staying on the field. And now here comes the punting unit on for Homestead. So Concordia's defense gets their 2nd stop in the opening 3 drives of this game. Not something we expected to see coming into this one, as this is a Concordia defense that has just struggled this year, allowing a conference worst 42.6 points per game. They are standing strong early in this one as Knipscher boots it away. It's going to hit around the 45 and take a very friendly Concordia roll back to the 34-yard line. That is a punt of just 15 yards, and Concordia is going to have great field position to take over.
Well, the Cadets, you mentioned great field position. Their offense is strung together some nice plays, and with this field position, it could be a spot where they could find their way to the end zone. And the offense of the Spartans, they've shown inconsistencies this year, and those on full display right now, not able to move the ball out of their own territory. So Eli Trent and the Cadets have a chance to go down and tie this one up.
Solway the back here on 1st down, as Trent takes the snap and looks to pass. He's going to that far side of the field trying to find Henley, but it's broken up by Gillespie, but a flag gonna come in late, and Homestead could be looking at their 2nd PI in as many drives.
And based on the reaction from the Spartans defense, that seems like what the call is going to be. But still, I'm not quite sure if that was enough to constitute a pass interference call. It looked like good defense from Gillespie from our angle.
Yeah, I mean, not sure what else you want if you're an official there from Gillespie in coverage. Just played him tight, turned his head to play the ball, but they're going to get him for the 15-yard penalty here. So the Concordia Cadets get another break, and all of a sudden they're inside the red zone at the 19-yard line, 1st down and 10. These penalties, whether deserved or not, are killing the Spartans right now.
For the Cadets, you just have to take them, whether you can't really control it. It's up to the official. You just got to take what you receive from the officials, and Cadets doing just that.
Trent will come in from the gun looking to pass. He's going to step up. He has got a lot of space to work with. He's got it down to the 10-yard line. There is a flag down in the backfield, but for the time being, the pickup of 10 here for Concordia, probably coming back, though. And it is going to be holding here against Concordia, so that'll back him up 10 yards and erase 10 of the 15 they just got from the pass interference call. And here's the official signal, and there you go. Holding against Concordia. That'll back him up to the 29-yard line, or it'll be 1st and 20. So we talk about the penalties killing the Spartans. Concordia, they've had some of their own as well.
Yeah, both teams having some penalties, just very untimely. I mean, for Concordia, you got blessed a bit with the pass interference, but you just go and give the field position pretty much right back up to the Spartans, and now that puts them in an even more difficult position to keep this drive alive and come away with 6.
Solway the halfback here, Paulin the H-back on 1st and 20. Trent bootlegs out, coming from behind though. He is going to be sacked by Nate Lynch out of nowhere, just stalking Trent on the back end. And it's going to be 2nd down and 22 now for Concordia.
And Trent just had no idea that Lynch was trailing him, ready to strike there. And Lynch able to get home and bring him down before Trent can find a way to wiggle his way for a big pickup on the ground once again. So this drive that looked like it was going to go great for the Cadets is now in a spot where they might not be able to come away with any points.
2 to the right, 1 to the left here on 2nd down. Paulin and Solway are the backs. That play clock winding down. And Coach Manigo's going to have to burn his first timeout of this first half. So Concordia timeout, 6:49 to go in the first half. Cadets trying to put some points on the board. 6:49 to go here in the first half. Homestead leading Concordia 7-0. The Cadets have it in Spartan territory at the 31-yard line, but following a holding penalty and a 2-yard sack, they find themselves with 2nd and 22. So you got 2 plays to set yourself up for a potential 4th down. What do you run here on 2nd and 22? Do you try to get that option game going a little bit, or do you just keep using Trent? If you can't complete a pass, at least use his legs.
I think you just keep relying on Trent to go make a play. I really liked when Concordia's given Trent time to roll out the pocket and maybe find a guy on the sideline, but if not, just take off. While the Spartans defense has caught on a little bit to the Cadets act, it still worked for them the most.
2nd down and 22. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Trent is going to hand it off to Pollen, who tripped over his own feet immediately upon getting the ball. So I think they're going to give him the line on forward progress, but still going to be 3rd and 22.
Now you're in an even worse situation if you're Concordia. I mean, this was a drive at one point you were within the red zone, and now you face 3rd and 22 with your offense showing no signs of being able to move the ball down the field consistently. And they could potentially still settle with 3, but there hasn't been a lot of opportunities for them to kick during this year, so it's just a situation where it feels like touchdown or nothing for Concordia.
Officially a loss of 1, so 3rd and 23. Snap with 1 on the play clock. Trent, again, the pocket collapsing. He can't use his magic this time as he is taken to the turf by the Spartans defensive line. It is going to be a loss of 3 more yards, and 4th and 26 is going to require a punt here for the Cadets.
Elliot Schweizer, the sophomore, there getting home for the Spartans, and not the result you want if you're Concordia. I mean, you were in the red zone, you were knocking on the door, potentially going and tying this football game, but now you have to relinquish the ball back to the Spartans. And if the Spartans are able to generate points on their drive, this drive is going to be something the Cadets are going to look back and just really wish they could come away with points.
Trent gets the punt away. It's going to hit around the 15, take a pretty good roll, and it rolls into the end zone. It appeared, and it did. Concordia had a chance to keep it out. That was Kalen Avery, who was there with an opportunity to down the ball, but couldn't keep it from crossing the paint. So Homestead ends up with a 19-yard swing there and will start the drive at the 20.
The Spartans offense has been inconsistent in this one. They didn't score on their first drive and then followed it up with a great drive that found themselves scoring due to a Carter Kennedy corner out, and then they went 3 and out on their next drive. So what's in store for Homestead? They've been really trying to get that run game going, but they just haven't not had much success, and their offense starting to become one-dimensional here, and that's not a good sign.
Kennedy goes in motion here, and he's going to get it on the jet sweep on 1st down. He's got some space, and he's going to have a pickup of 12, so that'll move the chains for Homestead. But, I mean, if you had asked me coming into this one that 19 minutes into this game, Homestead would only have 7 points, I probably wouldn't believe you. Give Concordia's defense credit, but this offense really struggling as well.
And whether it be a mix of both or more Homestead offensive struggles, they're struggling here in this first half.
Hutchinson will get it on the jet sweep this time to the opposite side of the field. His gain not as much, but a pickup of about 5. There's a flag down, however, at the 34-yard line.
The Spartans try to go hurry up to catch the Cadets off guard, is trying to find something and signal for holding against Homestead, so not a great sign there.
Spartans, again, the penalties continue to rain in as this will back them up 10 yards. Those positive gains being erased. This is what's put them behind the sticks offensively. It's what's given the Cadets free 1st downs defensively. And it's been those small mistakes. Like Homestead's out-physicaled Concordia in this game, probably outplayed them for the most part, but these penalties, these mental errors is what's costing them right now.
And those are the struggles of the Spartan offense that's contributed to the score, but the Cadet defense also doing a good job of forcing those penalties to come out, so just great credit to the Concordia Cadets defense.
Give Concordia credit, they haven't allowed a lot of big plays, but here they will as Camden Bean holds it in the middle of the field and gets it down to the 25-yard line, a pickup of 51 for Homestead.
Well, right on cue, there is Bean with a big strike across the middle, just wide open, broken coverage from the Cadets. And, man, what timing is that? But the Spartans able to bounce back. An offense that was starting to sputter out just found a new source of fuel, and his name is Camden Bean.
The first big play Concordia's allowed in this game, 1st down and 10. Freedom's going to take off with it across the 20, finds a little hole, going to keep running inside the 10. 1st and goal, Homestead.
Well, both quarterbacks in this one have done a great job on the ground there. Frieden also reminding the people watching that he can also run the football. A nice play there by him, and now 1st and goal for the Spartans.
8 yards away from Pater here on 1st down. 2 receivers to the right. That's Kennedy and Moore, who we haven't really heard from so far in this game. 2 receivers to the left. Bean and England. Bardwell the back. Frieden looking in his direction, but he's going to be sacked from behind as he's taken down by Jack Crocker. That's going to be a loss of 7, so it's going to be 2nd and goal from the 15-yard line now.
And the Cadets defense trying to be in a position where they bend but don't necessarily break, as Crocker with just getting to the blind side of Frieden, not allowing him to do much there on that play.
Again, 2 receivers on each side, and again Bardwell the back. Frieden takes the snap, goes play action, running out of time again, makes one guy miss, but can't shake the other as he is sacked once again. Luke Hayworth, the 2nd time tonight, he's gotten into the backfield.
Well, this Cadets defense is responding in a big way here. They let up the big strike in the middle of the field to Bean, but they've made up for it so far in this 1st and goal, or what was a 1st and goal situation is now a 3rd and goal from the 16-yard line for the Spartans.
The resiliency of this Concordia defense so far has been astounding. 3rd and goal from the 16. Here comes Frieden with 3 receivers to the right. Looking back towards the left, misdirection. Here's Bardwell. He's got it inside the 10, running, steaming into the end zone, and he is. We got one signaling touchdown, and it will be touchdown Homestead.
Well, what a play call there from the Spartans, catching the Cadets off guard. The nice misdirection play. They used that one earlier with Pinkston against Southside to score. Well, doing it with Bardwell results in the same thing, a touchdown for Homestead.
The side judge started to mark it at the 1-yard line, but the umpire said no, he was in, so touchdown Homestead. And Knipscher will come on for the extra point, and it's down the middle. Homestead's offense off the back of a 51-yard connection from Frieden to Bean ends the drive with 7 and a 14-0 lead, 2:47 to go in the 1st half. Homestead. Braxton on Atticus. Dean with you. See the score starting to roll across your screen. Carroll is up 21-0 against Bishop Lures. And Dwenger also has a 2-score lead. Last update against Southside. So right now, Bishop Dwenger in line to be the SAC champions. And about 2 hours from now, we shall wait and see. Carroll, though, is doing what they need to do. Again, they would need a Dwenger loss in order to win the SAC title. Homestead would need both those teams to lose in order to get a share of the SAC title. Concordia, though, back on offense. This offense, it's been a hit or miss. They just haven't been able to string a drive together, but they've had some good plays.
And that's been sort of the story of this Concordia offense. They've had some games where they're able to go and do great things consistently, but they've had a lot of games like this where it's just off and on whether they can move the ball down the field or not, and it's sort of been a one-man show for the Cadets, and that man is Eli Trent.
First down and 10. Trenton will get the snap here, looking to roll out towards his right. Comeback route is hauled in on the far side by Henley Jr. Will turn it up for a pickup of 12. First down and 10 here at Concordia as we get into the late stages of this first half.
And for Concordia, if they can find consistent ways to get other guys involved or more guys involved through the air, that would do wonders for them offensively. It would force the Spartans defense to space out a bit and force them to respect multiple options of this Concordia offense.
Trent looking to pass again on first down. It's deflected up front. Swihart got his palm on it. And it'll be second down.
And the defense of the Spartans, they've just been bringing a lot of pressure, and so far the Cadets have not been able to handle it all that well, as Trent has had to run for his life a lot of times. But fortunate for the Cadets, Trent has found a lot of success on the ground.
Solway going to check out of the game here on second down and 10. Homestead right now just 3 down linemen. I do have a couple linebackers blitzing. Here's the snap. Trent going to keep it himself, and he's not going anywhere. He's going to run right into one of those linebackers, Nolan Rogers. And it'll be right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be third down and 10. And there's a timeout here. Homestead's going to call their first timeout of the half, trying to get their offense another crack at it late in the second quarter. 2:18 to go.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Third down and 9 with 2:18 to go in the first half here for Concordia. Homestead just burning their first timeout of the half, so both teams with 2 remaining in the final 2:18 of the second quarter. Concordia's offense trying to get some points on the board before halftime. Their defense has kept them in this game so far. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right for Trent. Solway and Paul in the backs. Here's the snap. Trent looking to pass. Far side, incomplete again. Trying to find Henley Jr. That connection just not working so far tonight. And that time it was Michael Zarelli in coverage, breaking it up. And it'll be 4th down and 9. Concordia will have to punt it away, and Homestead saves the timeout.
Now the Spartans offense in a great spot to go and add on to this lead before halftime. And at one point in this game, there's a potential for it to be tied at one point, as Concordia had great field position. They had it within the red zone, but now they're in a spot where they could go down 3 scores.
That snap floated in there, but Trent will get it away. Kennedy stays away from it, and maybe not the right decision. That thing is going to roll deep into Homestead territory, down to the 14, maybe 13-yard line, right in between them. And now the Spartans going to start with their backs against the wall.
Trent has had great touch on his punts. He's gotten great bounces for the Cadets, and it forces Homestead to go now and really earn their points before the end of the half, as they're once again faced with another lengthy drive.
His average punt this year just under 40 yards. He's been eclipsing that so far in this game. Good opportunity, though, here for Homestead to run a 2-minute drill. 2:02 on the clock and 2 timeouts. It's first down and 10. Frieden in the gun, looking to pass on first down. He'll dump it off to Kennedy on the screen. Has some blockers, but comes the opposite direction. Shakes one guy, keeps on running down to the 29-yard line. That's a pickup of 16 and a first down for the Spartans.
Kennedy has been the standout go-to guy in this one for the Spartans, and they like to get him involved in those screens in the middle of the field, get him space, and works out wonderfully for Homestead.
2 receivers wide open at the bottom for Homestead. They're going to look that direction, go to Kennedy, and he cuts it upfield, stays alive as he shakes off Trent, And he's going to have a pickup of 11 and another first down, so the clock will stop momentarily to move the chains. First down, Homestead at the 40.
And once again, just Kennedy on those screens trying to give him space to work, and so far 2 first downs on 2 screen plays for Homestead.
Frieden in the pistol, looking to pass in the seam. Hutchinson has to go to the ground, and he doesn't haul it in. It touches the turf, incomplete. It'll be second down and 10, almost a big gain there.
Just a slight underthrow there from Frieden, not able to deliver it perfectly to Hutchinson. Frieden has been pretty good here tonight.
So back to the pistol here on second down, looking towards his right, and that's where he's going to go. Who else but Carter Kennedy down inside of the cadet 40-yard line, and he gets out of bounds as well, so the clock will stop. First down and 10.
Once again, Kennedy just open on that corner route, just a broken coverage there from the cadets, and Frieden able to put it right in between Concordia's defense.
2 receivers on each side. Frieden again from the pistol. This time he's going to take off with it. Has a hole up the middle. Now working towards the right side. Shakes off one defender, and he's got a huge pickup down to around the 10-yard line for Homestead. They're going to mark it, I believe, at the 11, or the 12 rather. A pickup of 28 from Logan Frieden. First down and 10, Homestead.
Well, Frieden there on the quarterback draw there, making the cadets pay for forgetting about him on the ground.
Line to gain the 2-yard line on first down. Hutchinson's wide open, but Frieden doesn't see him. He's going to roll out with it on the far side. He's got some space if he wants. He'll take off and scamper out of bounds at the 6-yard line. A pickup of 6. It'll be second and 4.
And you mentioned that Hutchinson there had a bit of space, but Hutchinson wasn't really looking for it, and Frieden didn't really see him as well. So what could have been a easy touchdown leads to now a second and goal for Homestead.
1 minute to go in this first half. Spartans threatening to make this a 3-score lead. Hard count from Frieden, and the cadets are going to jump off sides here. This is going to end up being a half the distance to the goal penalty against Concordia because of the offsides. The ball is going to be marked at the 3-yard line, so it'll be second down and 1 now here for Homestead. Spartans staying in the same formation they were in. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. That's England, and then Bartleby is the back alongside Frieden. Frieden brings Hutchinson in motion. He's going to give it to Bardwell instead towards the left guard area, and he is in for Homestead's 3rd touchdown of the night. Shane Bardwell adds 6 more to the tally.
There was a bit of a delayed handoff there, whether it be intentional or Frieden not quite able to handle the snap immediately. Bardwell is still able to trudge in for the score for Homestead, and just a lot of big play after big play after big play on that drive for Homestead.
And Knipscher will come on to tack on the extra point. 2 of 2 so far tonight. 3rd one on its way. And you can make them 3 of 3. Homestead's lead beginning to grow. 21-0, 56 seconds to go in the first half.
Marco's Pizza, located at 10349 Illinois Road, inside the shops of Scott Road. Marco's specializes in pizza, cheesy bread, subs, salads, and many other menu items. You can place an order for delivery or carryout by calling 625-6800. That number once again is 625-6800. You can also order online at marcos.com. Thank you, Marcos, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead High School athletics coverage on our station.
56.4 to go in the first half. Homestead 3-score advantage over Concordia, 21-0. Knipscher on to kick it away for the 4th time tonight. This one, another deep boot that is not going to be returned as it hits on the 1-yard line and rolls into the end zone for the touchback. So Concordia will start at the 20-yard line. We'll see how aggressive they get here. Now remember, Homestead gets the ball to begin the 3rd quarter, so Concordia might have to score here, at least try to, before halftime.
I agree with you there, Braxton. For the Cadets, you might as well go for it. They've not been able to move the ball as quick as they would need to in order to go down the field and score. But you might as well try. Maybe Trent can find a way to pull off some crazy things. I mean, he's been able to do it so far in this first half to keep this one manageable for the Cadets, but the Spartans defense also just been unforgiving and punishing any mistake the Cadets offense makes.
1st down and 10 in the gun. Trent takes the snap, will hand it off to Solway, stood up by Swihart at the line. And that play blown dead. A flag, though, is going to come in late as there's a lot of pushing going on afterwards. We'll see which way this goes.
I think they might go against Homestead on that push. The officials just believe it was a little bit too late or just too unnecessary on that play. We'll wait to see the official call, but...
And it is going to be a personal foul against Homestead. So that is the 3rd time tonight Homestead has been flagged for a 15-yard penalty. 2 pass interferences in this first half, and now this personal foul. So it'll be 1st down and 10 here from the 36-yard line.
Whether it be the lack of discipline from the Spartan defense in certain moments or just them getting just a little antsy to make a big play. They've had some penalties that has cost them a lot of yardage, but Cadets haven't been able to make them pay for it just yet.
Concordia is taking their time as the clock is winding down. Under 20 seconds left in this first half. Trent still not snapping it as the play clock's down to 4. And now Hero finally take it. It's just going to be a handoff. Concordia not going to get aggressive to end this first half. And that'll likely end up being the final play of the first half. And it will. Time expires. And Homestead's lead 21-0. Concordia hung around through the first quarter, but the Spartans starting to pull away. They'll get the ball to begin the 3rd quarter. 24 minutes remain in the regular season. We'll take a break. OPS halftime report on the other side.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits. Rethink your limits.
For more than 30 years and 2 generations, RT and Colin Green have given Fort Wayne more than proven personal injury representation. They have shared everyday life with the people they serve. These deep ties give RT, Colin, and every member of Team Green Law the local Fort Wayne knowledge and insight to know the best way to help you get the recovery you deserve. See the difference local experience makes. For a free consultation, visit us online at teamgreenlaw.com. Team Green Law, for you, with you.
The Air National Guard allows you to serve your state and country just 1 weekend a month while living your everyday life the other 28 days. You can earn up to $1,200 a month and get 100% of your college tuition paid for. For more information, search Fort Wayne Black Snakes on Facebook or Instagram, or call 260-478-3247 to connect with a recruiter today.
At the University of St. Francis, we believe everyone's made for greatness. Here, students are inspired to reach higher, academically, personally, and spiritually. We're not just shaping minds, we're forming servant leaders with purpose and heart. Rooted in faith and tradition, we prepare students to live lives of virtue, service, and joy. This is where faith meets reason, and where students discover who they're truly called to be. Discover greater.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
For more than 30 years and 2 generations, RT and Colin Green have given Fort Wayne more than proven personal injury representation. They have shared everyday life with the people they serve. These deep ties give RT, Colin, and every member of Team Green Law the local Fort Wayne knowledge and insight to know the best way to help you get the recovery you deserve. See the difference local experience makes. For a free consultation, visit us online at teamgreenlaw.com. Team Green Law, for you, with you.
Rethink your limits.
The Air National Guard allows you to serve your state and country just 1 weekend a month while living your everyday life the other 28 days. You can earn up to $1,200 a month and get 100% of your college tuition paid for. For more information, search Fort Wayne Black Snakes on Facebook or Instagram, or call 260-478-3247 to connect with a recruiter today.
At the University of St. Francis, we believe everyone's made for greatness. Here, students are inspired to reach higher, academically, personally, and spiritually. We're not just shaping minds, we're forming servant leaders with purpose and heart. Rooted in faith and tradition, we prepare students to live lives of virtue, service, and joy. This is where faith meets reason, and where students discover who they're truly called to be. Discover greater.
Braxton all back with you here at Dave Walters Memorial Stadium. It is halftime as the Spartans lead Concordia 21-0. We're going to take another quick break. When we come back, it is the OPS halftime report. Atticus and I will get you caught up with everything you may have missed in the first half. Plus, we take a look at the scores around the area with the SAC bell on the line. Stay tuned. OPS halftime report is next.
Marco's Pizza, located at 10349 Illinois Road, inside the shops of Scott Road. Marco's specializes in pizza, cheesy bread, subs, salads, and many other menu items. You can place an order for delivery or carryout by calling 625-6800. That number once again is 625-6800. You can also order online at marcos.com. Thank you, Marcos, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead High School athletics coverage on our station.
Rethink your limits.
At the University of St. Francis, we believe everyone's made for greatness. Here, students are inspired to reach higher, academically, personally, and spiritually. We're not just shaping minds, we're forming servant leaders with purpose and heart. Rooted in faith and tradition, we prepare students to live lives of virtue, service, and joy. This is where faith meets reason, and where students discover who they're truly called to be. Discover greater.
The Air National Guard allows you to serve your state and country just one weekend a month while living your everyday life the other 28 days. You can earn up to $1,200 a month and get 100% of your college tuition paid for. For more information, search Fort Wayne Black Snakes on Facebook or Instagram, or call 260-478-3247 to connect with a recruiter today.
Marco's Pizza, located at 10349 Illinois Road, inside the shops of Scott Road. Marco's specializes in pizza, cheesy bread, subs, salads, and many other menu items. You can place an order for delivery or carryout by calling 625-6800. That number once again is 625-6800. You can also order online at marcos.com. Thank you, Marcos, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead High School athletics coverage on our station.
Welcome into the OPS Halftime Report. Braxton, Hall, and Atticus Dean with you. It is 21-0 Homestead over Concordia here in Week 9 of the high school football season. Hard to believe it is the end of the regular season here tonight. And let's take a look at some of the scores going on from tonight's game. Now, we talked about it in the pregame show, all the things that could go on with SAC champions, but it was always very simple. If Dwenger won, they are the conference champions. You see the score starting to scroll across your screen now. If Dwenger wins tonight, they are the conference champion. If they lose and Carroll wins, which Carroll looks like they are going to end up winning that game up 32 right before a halftime, then Carroll would be the champion. Now, Charger taking care of business. Dwenger's in a little bit of a dogfight. Most recent update, it is 10-6 over Southside. With Carroll having that big lead, though, it basically eliminates any chance of Northrop, Bishop Luers, or Homestead being able to share in the tie for the SAC belt. So this is basically now a two-horse race between Carroll and Bishop Dwenger to win the conference. Dwenger up 4 at halftime on the road. So they win that game, they are SAC champions. They lose, Carroll will win the crown. What a great night of football it has been, though, across the conference. And even this game, I know it's a 3-score lead for Homestead, but it's been a pretty competitive ball game.
Yeah, this one has been very close. Concordia they're still in it, but they've been in a lot of situations where just one or two plays go their way, and they could potentially find themselves only down 1 or 2 scores. I mean, their one drive, they started pretty much in the red zone, but Spartans defense able to hold strong and not allow them to get on the scoreboard there. And the Homestead offense also starting to figure things out, especially towards the end of that first half. Their inconsistencies turned into consistencies offensively.
So the Spartan Lions band wrapping up their performance here. We're right at 5 minutes away from kicking off this second half. Let's start with Homestead. They're going to have the ball to begin this third quarter. Now, it's no secret they were the favorites coming into this game, almost 200 spots higher than Concordia in the Sagarin ratings. They were predicted by the computer to win 42-14, and they were 25-point favorites by local media's prediction. Concordia, though, they are putting up a fight in this game, especially the defense. They've been put in some tough situations. The offense, even, they've been able to move the ball at times. Homestead, though, they do have the 3-score lead. How do they keep the pedal to the metal in the second half?
Just keep dominating the trench battle. Whenever Homestead has been able to get to Eli Trent, it seems to just almost halt the entire drive for Concordia right there on that play. And if they're able to continue that and not allow Trent to find success on the ground or even through the air, they've done a good job of locking things down through the air-wise. They've had a couple pass interference calls, but those a little bit of debatable calls. But Homestead's defense just continuing the trench domination, keep getting to Eli Trent, forcing him to second-guess some of the decisions he wants to make.
So, meanwhile, for Concordia, I mean, just nothing doing in that first half. At least offensively on the scoreboard, they moved the ball a little bit. It feels like they might still have a little bit of a chance in this game, but this defense is going to have to force probably a 3-and-out to begin the second half, and this offense is going to have to start rolling.
Yeah, the defense of the Cadets, they've been playing well, but they're going to have to take it to a whole nother level if they want to keep this one in a spot where their offense can find a way to tie this one up and eventually take the lead. But yeah, you mentioned the offense is going to have to figure things out, and they're going to have to do that and fast. As so far, I mean, they've had a nice couple drives, but they just haven't been able to finish them off and haven't been able to find ways to convert their opportunities to go and score. And that's a huge thing in the game of football. You can't take any possession for granted. So when Concordia, when they get these drives, when they make it all the way into the red zone or about there or in the Spartans territory, they just have to find a way to come through and put some points on the board, whether it be if they find some success on the ground, which is what they've been trying to do, just not a lot of results showing that. So the Cadets are just going to have to find a way to find the willpower to keep this one entertaining.
2.5 minutes until we get this third quarter underway as the teams come back out for warm-ups. Michael White, interesting to note, he was the first offensive player on the field when he's warming up with Logan Frieden right now. It'll be interesting to see if maybe White gets into the game in the second half. You'd certainly like to have him up to speed a little bit in case you need him against HSC in 2 weeks. And speaking of that game, we'll have it for you here. It'll be over on the IHSAA Champions Network, but it will be a Homestead Live and Homestead Media production with kickoff of that game at 7:30. Our next broadcast here on YouTube, November 12th. It'll be a girls basketball game when they take on Northridge, and there you see that game. Halloween night, it'll be sectional action, being 6A. Those two teams on bye next week. But that's a rematch of a game we saw, same field, same round of the playoffs last year. Hamilton Southeastern got the 1-score win. Could be a competitive game again this year.
Yeah, for the Spartans, they were so close to finding a way to have a comeback win, as they really didn't start things rolling until late in that game, as Michael White in the offense struggled up until that third and fourth quarter. But same opponent, the Spartans are going to hope for a different result, but they have a new guy right now, Logan Frieden, trying to see if he can be the one to find them some playoff success. And the Royals, they have been good all year long. They're a perennial football contender, and they're trying to prove that once again by eliminating the Spartans in the first round for 2 years in a row.
So get your trick-or-treating done early and get on your couch by 7:30 for kickoff of that game over on the IHSAA Champions Network. We're going to take one final break before the second half. We are back in 30 seconds with the third quarter. Getting ready for the third quarter here at Homestead High School. It is Braxton on Atticus. Dean with you at Dave Walters Memorial Stadium. The Spartans leading the Cadets 21-0. They're going to be on offense to begin this third quarter as well. Both these teams, this is their final game of regular season. Play Concordia. They'll start their sectional journey next week against West Noble. Homestead on bye, being part of 6A. They'll face Hamilton Southeastern, but still, both these teams trying to wrap up the regular season with one more win in SAC play. And Homestead trying to get their first season above 500 since 2021. Right now, they appear to be well on their way, but the Cadets certainly not out of this one just yet. It'll be Homestead ball to begin the third quarter. Segel will come on here to kick it away for Concordia. The ball teed up at the 40-yard line. 24 minutes remain in the regular season. 12 of those minutes up on the clock. So we're about to get the third quarter going. Wims and Kennedy back to receive for Homestead. Eggle to kick for Concordia. Ready for play is given. Here we go. 24 minutes left in week 9. And it's going to be squibbed up front to avoid those deep returners. Hutchinson fields it for the Spartans. On the far side, it'll be tackled just shy of the 35-yard line. So Concordia wanted no business with a big return from Homestead. Luke Hayworth ultimately makes the tackle, and Homestead will start around the 35.
For Homestead, if they're able to go and put another 6 on the board, it would be huge to kick things off, and it would force the Cadets' hand and force them to figure things out quickly offensively to keep this one within arm's reach. So we'll see how the defense of the Cadets are able to react to the Spartans offense that has gotten things going as this game has progressed.
Frieden back at the helm of the offense to begin the second half in the pistol formation. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Now Bardwell's going to step up right beside him for a shotgun look. Frieden will hand it off to Bardwell on first down. Gets it outside on a bit of a sweep play. And he's going to have a pickup of 11, maybe 12, depending on the spot. But either way, enough for Homestead first down to begin this third quarter.
Well, Bardwell had a pretty quiet first quarter, but since then he's just been taking off and being able to find gap after gap and has contributed 2 touchdowns to the Spartans so far in this one. They're going to look to continue to rely on him, as if the Spartans are able to run the ball, they also kill time on the clock.
Frieden keeps it himself this time, and again he breaks free. He's inside the 35, inside the 30, down to the 20-yard line, cutting forward, the 10, the 5. Frieden swung down at the 2-yard line. It is a 51-yard carry, and it's a first and goal for Homestead.
Well, Logan Frieden, what a run from the quarterback. I mean, there was many times where it looked like he was going to be brought down, but just shrugging off the Cadet defenders all the way to the 2-yard line for the Spartans. And what a way to kick off your first offensive drive in the half.
First and goal from the 2-yard line as QB1 is making plays for the Spartans. Not even a minute into this third quarter. Power formation here for the Spartans. Frieden hands it off to Bardwell, trying to get back into the end zone after scoring on their last full offensive possession, but going to be stopped just shy. It'll be second and goal from the 1-yard line.
Even Nick Brown was in there blocking for the Spartans, so really keeping that power package true to its name, getting the big guys up front, trying to clear a path for Bardwell in order for him to find end zone for the 3rd time tonight.
Second and goal. Frieden takes the snap, hands it off to Bardwell, who's going to waltz into the end zone for a Homestead touchdown.
Well, there, Nick Brown, usually the one shedding blockers. Will he becoming the blocker there, just being the guy to pave the path for Bardwell? And once again, Bardwell finds pay dirt, and the Spartans with a big first drive to kick things off in the second half.
And Knipscher will come on for his 4th extra point attempt of the game. He's 3 of 3 so far. And this one on its way and right down the middle. It is 28-0 Homestead, starting to run away with this one. 10:27 to go in the third. Hampshire reteeing the ball after the wind blew it over as he gets ready to kick off for now the 5th time in this game. His team holding the 28-0 lead over Concordia. Hampshire will boot it away once again. This one a little bit lower, and it will be fielded at the 5-yard line on the far side of the field. That's Henley returning it. He's got a little bit of space. He can get it out to the 30-yard line, a net gain of 10, making the decision to bring it out. It'll be first down and 10 for Concordia.
Well, the Spartans offense, they came out and started the second half in a big way. Now it's up to the Cadets to respond and keep this one manageable to where they can maybe muster a way to come back and make this one good. But the Spartans defense looking to get another stop and set the offense in a great position to extend their lead.
First down and 10, 10:19 to go in the third quarter. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right here for Trent. Take the snap on first down, looking to pass. They went through the air a lot in the first half, and it's incomplete. That time he was trying to connect with Geiger, but well out of his reach.
The Cadets, offensively, they've had the most success when Trent's able to roll out and make things happen, but they're just no one open for the Cadets, and Trent able to throw it just right over the outstretched arm of Handel, not able to quite get a finger on it. So now 2nd and long.
Solway the back here on 2nd down. A pistol look from Concordia, a bit of a staggered pistol look at that. Here's the snap to Trent. He'll bootleg towards his left and dumped off this time. Able to connect with his receiver, Nancaro, there to make the tackle. That was Paulin who hauled in the reception, the pickup of 3 to make it 3rd and 7.
And Nancaro, they're able to lay the big hit as soon as the Cadets made contact with the football. And now 3rd and long for the Cadets. Their offense trying to avoid a 3-and-out, as if they were able to, the Spartans offense would have it at pretty good field position, but Trent has had some great punts go his way.
2 to the left, 1 to the right here on 3rd down. Probably a passing situation. No, they're going to hand it off, and Homestead was ready for it as Solway was blown up by John Baer and Nick Brown. He's going to lose 3, maybe 4 yards. It's going to be 4th and long.
One interesting decision there from the Cadets to go on the ground in a situation where it feels like you really need a first down. Obviously, every 3rd down you want something, but with the situation of how the game has turned out, if you don't get this first down, you have a feeling that the Spartans are just going to be able to go down and score and put this one at a running clock.
Trent won't punt it away here. This one a high, towering one. Kennedy's not going to let it roll this time. He'll catch it at the 38-yard line. And here comes Homestead's starting offense onto the field at least one more time with 8:48 to go in the 3rd quarter. Homestead's last drive ended with a 1-yard scoring rush from Shane Bardwell, but not before a 51-yard scamper from Logan Freedom that set them up first and goal at the 2-yard line. Can they repeat that success here on this drive? 2 receivers on each side for Freedom in the pistol. Here's the snap, and he's looking to pass towards his right. He has more for the first time tonight, and he's going to have a pickup of 9. It'll be 2nd and 1.
And more first time tonight, getting some action there, but able to haul it in. So a nice little slant route there for the Spartan to kick things off on this drive. And Homestead's offense really starting to turn things up when it matters most in the second half.
Hutchison comes in motion, and Frieden will fake it to him, trying to dump it off to Bardo, but instead goes to Kennedy, who was wide open. And Carter Kennedy looks AI generated as he drops the pass.
And you had the perfect play. You had the perfect ball from Kennedy and, from Frieden to Kennedy. And out of all the passes that they aren't able to connect with, that one hurting the most, just no one in the same area code as Kennedy there. But nonetheless, now 3rd and short for the Spartans.
Pistol look here, 2 receivers on each side as Frieden takes the snap. He's going to tuck it and run. Almost had it stripped away, but secure grip as he takes it down inside the 45 of Concordia. That'll be a 1st and 10. Homestead, as it's going to be about an 8-yard carry. There is an injured cadet down on the field, however. So we are going to step away with 8:09 to go in the 3rd quarter. Homestead leads 28-0. Hayworth, the injured player, getting off the field here under his own power, a little bit of a limp as he gets stretched on the side. And there also was a holding call against Homestead that erases the 8-yard carry from Frieden. So it's going to be 3rd down and 12 here for Homestead. And a hard count here from Frieden in the gun. Cadets stay playing, and so again, penalties hurting Homestead, putting them in this 3rd and long situation. Of course, the dropped pass as well. Play action here from Frieden. He's looking to pass across the middle. That's hauled in by Hutchison. Plenty of space, no one around. He's down inside the 35-yard line. 1st down and 10, Homestead. That's a pickup of 29.
And the Spartans have been looking to strike across the middle of the field. A lot of their big plays have been in that middle. And once again, Hutchison just a nice dig route there, finding the opening in that cadet defense. And Frieden able to connect. So 3rd and long turns into a big play for the Spartans.
1st down and 10. 2 receivers on each side. Bardwell the back as Hutchison comes in motion. He's going to get it on the jet sweep. Back-to-back touches for him, and he cuts it up the field, and he's got it close to the 15-yard line before he is knocked out of bounds. Tobias Hutchison, I'll tell you what, he's been making an impact in the back half of this season and probably having the best game of his season so far tonight.
Yeah, at the start of the year, it was more Braylon Wims. That was sort of the Hutchison role, but now the senior is the guy for Homestead, and 2 big plays back-to-back for Hutchison, able to put the Spartans in a great position to where they can go and extend their lead.
1st down and 10 from the 17-yard line. Frieden keeps it himself up the middle on the read option, and he'll get it down to the 13, a pickup of 4, which will make it 2nd and 6.
With Homestead, they've gone, when they go to plays across the middle, whether it be Logan Frieden on those quarterback keepers or passes over the middle, they stay in bounds and they're able to kill the clock as well as move the ball down the field.
In the pistol here, Frieden takes the snap, hands it off to Bardwell up the middle. And he'll get it down inside the 10-yard line, right around the line again. I believe he's going to have enough for the first down, and he will. It's going to be first and goal Homestead at the 6.
Bardwell's made such an impact for Homestead in this season. Ever since Pinkston went down, Bardwell has stepped up, and he's had to ever since losing that extra dynamic player. Bardwell's really made his backfield his own and really helped the Spartans out a lot this year, and tonight no different.
First down and goal. Kennedy goes in motion right to left. Another handoff to Bardwell, and another touchdown for Shaden Bardwell, his third of the night. It is 34-0 Homestead.
And once again, just Spartans' offensive line just rolling out the red carpet for Bardwell to just strut right into the end zone. And the Spartans' offense really doing a great job of establishing the run game in the second half.
And Knipscher will come on for the extra point. It's on its way, and it is good. And he's now 5 of 5 on the night. Homestead's lead 35-0. It's a running clock when we come back with 6:07 to go in the third quarter.
Rethink your limits.
At the University of St. Francis, we believe everyone's made for greatness. Here, students are inspired to reach higher, academically, personally, and spiritually. We're not just shaping minds, we're forming servant leaders with purpose and heart. Rooted in faith and tradition, we prepare students to live lives of virtue, service, and joy. This is where faith meets reason, and where students discover who they're truly called to be. Discover greater.
Knipscher on to kick it away once again after hitting the extra point. 35-0. Homestead leads Concordia with 6:07 to go in this one. And the ball kicked off, and it'll be fielded at right around the 5-yard line by Paul on his second return of the night. He's just going to go down this time and avoid a hit. The 17-yard line will be 1st and 10 Concordia.
And now for the Cadets, it gets to a point where how aggressive are you? I would hope they would continue to show some fight. They've showed a lot of great signs here tonight, but they just haven't been able to string together enough plays in a row to get into the end zone, and it's led to the situation we see here now.
First down and 10. Trent leads the offense back onto the field. Here's the snap, looking to pass as he comes to the near side, being chased from behind, and he stays in bounds. I don't know how, gets a throw off, and it's completed on the far side to Geiger, and he's got space for days. Cutting back past midfield, and it'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Eli Trent turning into Houdini.
Well, what a play there by Trent. It looked like he was going to get pushed out of bounds by the Spartans defense, but able to tiptoe and stay in bounds and find Geiger just wide open on the right side of the field. And what a play from this Cadets offense.
Homestead's entire defense had collapsed towards Trent, save for one or two guys, and that's what left Geiger so wide open. The touchdown saving tackle there as it's first down and 10 out the 45-yard line. Concordia's biggest pickup of the night. Trent is going to scramble here on first down. There's a flag down behind him as he gets out to the 39-yard line before being stood up.
And it looks like it's going to be a hold against Concordia. We'll wait for the official call, but I believe that's what it will be, a hold against the Cadets.
So they seem to be signaling it came in that area where you would expect a holding as well. Concordia's offense is walking back. So here's the official decision, and sure enough, it is a hold here and a 10-yard penalty that'll make it 1st and 20 for Concordia.
And once again, just the penalties from Concordia just very untimely. I mean, they had 2 nice plays in a row. They had the huge strike to Geiger, and then Trent also had a nice run up the middle, but it just seems to get pushed back a bit due to these penalties, something that the Cadets have to clean up.
Hard count here from Trent. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to the right. I'll send Paulin in motion up to the line as an extra blocker. And now the snap, Trent, quick pass on a curl route, and that is completed to Henley for a short gain. Still going to be 2nd and long, but a pickup of 4 will make it 2nd and a little bit more manageable, a 16-yard deficit to the line to gain.
And that penalty from the Cadets starting to tack on just more damage than before, as it was a nice play, a nice 4-yard strike, but just not enough to make it easy on the 2nd down.
Trent gets the snap on 2nd and 16, just gets the pass off with the pocket collapsing. It's to Henley once again. He's been the go-to guy, a pickup of 4. It'll be 3rd and 12 with 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
And on that play thereafter, Henley caught it. It took him a little bit to go upfield as he was looking around for the Spartans defenders, just looking to avoid some tackles. And that's sort of the pressure that the Spartans defense brings. They always make you guess and have to believe that you're going to instantly be met with a lot of contact. And they're Henley a little bit too worried about said contact and cost the Cadets a couple extra yards.
2 receivers to the right and 1 to the left on 3rd and long. Trent will get the snap. Lynch getting through, knocks it loose at the last second. Yet another forced fumble from Nate Lynch, and Sterling Swihart jumps on it. Now, will this be a fumble or may it be an incomplete pass? His arm was starting to come forward a little bit. Right now, they're saying fumble recovered by the Spartans, and it looks like that's going to be the call. They're going to talk it over for a bit, but right now, Spartans have the ball at the 45.
And also interesting to note, Michael White now in at quarterback for the first time since Westfield, ever since he got hurt. He hasn't been on the field since. Well, now he is.
How about this? QB1 to begin the year. It looked like his season might have been done after that left shoulder injury in week 1. And here he is, the final game of the regular season, back in at quarterback. The commit to play D2 football at Grand Valley State University up in Grand Rapids next year. Getting to finish out his final home regular season game out on the field. And who's been the starting quarterback since his sophomore year. 3-yard gain on 1st to make it 2nd down and 7. White in the pistol. Take the snap here, hand it off once again on the near side of the field. Sandifer on the carry. He'll have enough to move the chains right at the line of scrimmage. Or excuse me, the line to gain is where he is spotted. It's a 7-yard carry and a 1st down and 10 on the final play of the 3rd quarter. Michael White back at quarterback, a 35-point lead. All is well for Homestead as we head to the 4th.
Rethink your limits.
It'll be Homestead ball on the 43-yard line to begin the 4th quarter, up 35-0, running clock in effect. Braxton on Atticus. Dean with you. Well, Atticus, usually not a lot of storylines when say 35-point lead for one team in a game, but Michael White back in at quarterback. Haven't seen him throw a pass just yet, but went down with an injury on his throwing arm in week 1, and here he is back on the field. You see him right there.
And I'm curious how much he's actually going to throw the ball for the Spartans. Obviously, you want to see him get back and get some high-level reps to get him back into the swing of things. During warm-ups, he looked good throwing, but during warm-ups and in a game is a lot different. And do you really want to risk him getting re-injured once again?
And it is mostly backups on the field for Homestead right now, but a couple starters. Liam Moore is out there, as is Carter Kennedy. So a bit of a mixed bag right now. Those were always White's 2 favorite targets before his injury. Handoff to Sandifer once again. The umpire gets in the way and gets trucked by Sandifer, who's still getting him enough to move the chains on an 18-yard carry and a 1st down and 10.
Well, the official there playing a little bit of defense there, getting in the way of Sandifer, but nonetheless he's able to trudge forward for a big gain, and so far no passes from White, just strictly hands off to Sandifer, and Sandifer's done a great job so far with his touches.
Got a little carried away with the trucked official, only a 13-yard carry on 1st down, but the ball sits at the 30-yard line here. White in the gun will take the snap. He's going to hand it off once again. And once again, it's Sandifer with it. He'll get it to the 26-yard. I'm going to pick up 4 more. Tristan Sandifer's done pretty good on cleanup duty late in these games when he's come in.
Sandifer, he's very good at making guys miss, but he also stays inbounds a lot, which when you have a running clock, it's very good for your team. And Michael White, so far the guy giving him the ball.
2nd down and 6 in the pistol here for White. He'll take the snap, and it's going to be another handoff to Sandifer. Has some space once again. He'll get it down to the 12-yard line. Looks like it's going to be the spot. A pickup of 14. Another 1st down. Sandifer cannot be stopped at the moment. And now more substitutions here for Homestead. The rest of the starting offensive line that was still in is going to check out as well. Michael White. It'll be Caleb Tarango in at quarterback. So White expecting to be done for the night now. Doesn't throw a pass, but he does help lead this offense down inside the red zone.
It's nice there for White, able to get in and get back into the swing of things, not putting him in an unnecessary situation as well, limiting opportunities for him to get hurt.
First down and 10, and we're going to get a flag here for delay of game as Homestead was a little confused with all the substitutions they made. And actually before a flag, there's going to be a timeout called by Homestead with 9:42 remaining, so we'll step away. 35-0, Homestead leads Concordia. Homestead burns their first time out before the delay of game penalty, so it'll be 1st down and 10 at the 12-yard line. Now entirely second stringers in for the Spartans. Caleb Tarango in at quarterback, and here's the snap. It's a handoff on their first play into the game on a jet sweep. That'll get it to the 10-yard line. And it'll be Carter West on the carry. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
And the Spartans allowing a lot of guys to get some varsity reps now, putting them in positions to better them for the future, as a lot of sophomores are out there for Homestead.
Tarango again will bring Wims in motion this time. He's going to hand it off to him on the jet sweep. Wims cutting up field down inside the 5-yard line. He'll fight forward to the 4. Braylon Wims, who's been a stud for the Spartans junior varsity team, making some plays late in these games as well. And it'll be 3rd down and short here for Homestead. As you see the scores rolling across your screen, Dwenger now has a 2-score lead over Southside. So the Saints are closing in on winning the SAC Bell outright. 3rd down and 2 here for Homestead. Still some business to take care of in this game. Spartans trying to finish in a tie for second within the conference. Handoff up the middle, fighting towards the end zone, and no signal yet. Now here it is, touchdown Spartans as Tristan Sandifer gets the carry up the middle for a 4-yard touchdown rush.
Well, it's only fitting that Sandifer is the one to score on that drive. He did a lot of the work himself there, and a great drive there by the Spartans, just dominating on the ground from start to finish.
Starting offensive line runs back in for this extra point attempt. Knipscher's 6th try of the evening. Good snap, good hold, and the extra point good as well. 42-0, 7:45 to go. It'll be Concordia ball when we come back.
Rethink your limits. .45 to go in this one. Homestead leading Concordia 42-0. The Cadets offense about to head out for what will likely be their final drive of the game with the running clock in effect. Homestead has 2 timeouts remaining. Concordia still all 3 in their back pocket. And the ready for play is given. Knipscher will look to kick it off once again. And this one is going to go into the end zone without a bounce. And Concordia will start it at the 20-yard line. So Cadets, they don't have a bye, being in a lower class. They will start sectional play next week against West Noble. Look, it's been a rough regular season for the Cadets. They're going to drop to 1-8 after tonight. Final drive probably of this game for their offense. What do you want to take from this if you're Coach Manigault before you head into sectional play next week?
We want to try to find some things that work consistently. That was a huge problem all season long, and it was very prevalent in this one for the Cadets. Just consistency, consistency, consistency. They've been struggling to find reliable options offensively to move the ball, and that's something they're going to have to try to clean up come playoff time.
Handoff here on first down, and that is blown up. No consistency with the halfback running game tonight. A Solway just nowhere to go. And outside of Eli Trent scrambles, the running game has just been shut down entirely.
And that's a huge problem. Obviously, you want to have multiple dimensions offensively. Well, the Cadets haven't had that luxury tonight, and their offensive line, they've done a pretty good job considering how much pressure the Spartans have been sending of protecting Eli Trent. But one thing they've struggled on is paving the path for their running backs to hit the gaps to find some success on the ground.
Loss of 2 on first, so it's second down and 12. And Trent will take the snap once again. The pocket collapses, but enough time to get a pass off, and off the deflection, it is hauled in by Kelly, who will take it close to the line to gain. He's giving about a yard shy. There's a collision there on the Spartans line. Now they're changing the spot to be a yard in front of the line to gain, so it'll be enough for a first down, a pickup of 13.
And it's plays like that that the Cadets really struggled to connect on in the earlier stages of this one there. Trent had enough time to step up in the pocket and able to find a guy, just a nice, simple drag route that turned to a big play. Trent either had to scramble or go for these deep balls. They really haven't had much shorter intermediate passing game in this one.
Looking to pass again, and it's a short route that just does not connect. That time Geiger, the intended target, as it falls incomplete. It'll be second and 10.
Trent has struggled to put some of these passes on the money, but a huge reason for that is just the amount of pressure he's faced from this Spartans defense. And if they're able to manage the pressure here tonight, if they can just have half the success against West Noble, it puts them in a good spot, as the Spartans defense is elite. They have a lot of guys that have D1, D2 interest, and it's not a given for every football team you go against.
Second down and 10. Trent gets the snap. He's going to scramble with it once again. Has a little bit of space. He'll get it out across the 40 to the 41-yard line. Call it a pickup of 9. And it'll be third down and 1.
And Trent, once again, just sort of being the only bright spot on this offense. Trent on the ground, I should specify, is even when the plays look like they're going to break down, Trent just finds a way to get enough space to wiggle out of the pocket and fight forward for this 7-8 yard runs. And if they were able to get that consistently, it would be better for this offense. But Trent's just had to play a lot of hero ball here tonight.
Bring a man in motion. That's Geiger. Hand it off up the middle to Paulin, who runs into a wall but continues chugging forward. And in the end, he's actually going to get a yard out of it, maybe 2, enough to move the chains. So first down and 10, Concordia. The 43-yard line. 3:30 remaining in this one. Homestead entirely second stringers in at defense now in this game, as we saw on offense on the previous possession. Trent will pass it again in the seam, and that's hauled in. Kelly is going to have it out across the 40-yard line. I know they're doing it against backups, but it has to feel good if you're Concordia to finally get that ball moving.
No, I agree with you, Braxton. You'll take anything you can get if you're Concordia. Any sense of momentum going in to your next matchup against West Noble. Anything that you can find success in and maybe extract more success from it in these later weeks is something to look forward to if you're the Cadets.
First down and 10 at the 39-yard line of Homestead. This is arguably Concordia's best drive so far in this one. Trent looking deep again, and it is intercepted by the Spartans. Cutter Stockwell there in coverage to pick it off, and that should seal the deal on this one, as Homestead's offense will take over.
And Cutter Stockwell, the sophomore, has got plenty of reps on varsity. Well, they're making the most of them as well, with a big interception to put this exclamation mark on this one. And now it's just up to the Spartans offense to go and kill the remaining minute and 55 seconds left on the clock.
Stockwell, someone who's gotten experience with the first stringers at times this season, largely due to the Spartans' defensive injuries, and he makes the play late in this one to give the ball back to his offense, as Tarango's going to hand it off to Hand on first down. It'll be a pickup of 2 to make it 2nd and 8.
Just a couple more plays left for the Spartans before this one is officially over. And Spartans offense, even with the second stringers out there, doing a good job of managing the game, and they even found the end zone in this fourth quarter.
Less than 75 seconds to go. Spartans just need to snap it twice more. A little bit of an issue there on the handoff, but ball stays in the hands of Hand. He will lose 2 yards back to the original line of scrimmage. It will be 3rd down and 10. Homestead can snap it just one more time. Tarango in the gun here on 3rd down, likely the final snap of the game. 2 receivers on each side, and Hand to the running back. Bring a man in motion to hand it off on the jet sweep to Sanders. And he'll have a gain of about 3, and that should be the final play of this one, as both teams start walking towards the middle of the field. Time will run out, and Homestead's going to get the 42-0 victory. And for the first time since 2021, the Homestead Spartans secure a winning season.
And it has to feel great if you're the Spartans finally get over that hump they had created for themselves where they were just going 500 after 500. And in a season that it looked like it was going to get pretty unpredictable and maybe even bad after that first game due to Michael White getting injured. Well, not only is he back, but the Spartans found a guy to step up and make plays for them at the quarterback position in Logan Frieden.
Look, this season is not over. There's still postseason football to be played in 2 weeks. But as we do put a bow on the regular season, I think the theme this year for the Spartans has been resiliency. You mentioned that injury to Michael White. You lose your senior quarterback, the leader of this team, the third-year starter in Week 1. Logan Frieden steps up, and he leads them to victory in Week 2 against Noblesville. You've had plenty of injuries on defense, so many we can't even count them all. A few on offense as well, especially on the line with the next man up mentality, and the Spartans able to go now 6-3 in the regular season.
Well, you mentioned the one key word is resiliency, and just that next man up mentality has been shown and put on full display by the Spartans team all season long. And you mentioned just a lot of injuries that the Spartans have had to overcome, and they've done that in a big-time way. And the Spartans feel like they are ready for their matchup against HSC. Chance for revenge against the Royals.
I mean, they're going to be the underdogs in that game, but they were the underdogs when those two teams met in the postseason last year, and they really gave them a game. If the offense could have got going a little bit earlier, they would have had a chance in that when the defense played outstanding, and they still had a chance late in that one, and they ended up being a one-score defeat, 17-10. Meanwhile, for Concordia, they play West Noble next week. What do you take from this? I know we talked about what we wanted to see on that final drive. They moved the ball some, obviously, and an interception. What do you want to take from this game and really this season as a whole if you're the Cadets head coach?
Just want to find ways. There's a lot of flashes that your guys have shown, but if you can just capture those and turn them into full-length drives or just good series after good series, that would be huge for them, as Eli Trent showed a lot of flashes. They even had that big play. So Geiger, I mean, they've had a lot of guys that have made big plays, but they just haven't been able to get a lot of consistency going. So I know I harped on it earlier, but just consistency is key for this Cadets team.
So I know we've been keeping you updated all night with the scores from around the SAC. You see it on your screen there. That is updated. Dwanger's up 21-6 against Southside early on in the fourth quarter. If that score holds, Dwanger will be the outright SAC champions. And let's roll with that for right now. Let's assume Dwanger ends up clinching the victory bell. What a season it's been for the Saints, and especially for that defense.
Yeah, that Saints defense has made statement performance after statement performance. They held Carroll to only 6 points. They held the Spartans to just 3. They've done a great job at holding these top offenses, these offenses that have been good all year long, to just minimal scoring. And I know the cliche is defense wins championships. Well, the Saints bought into that and then paid out for them as they're able to hold on and claim the SAC bell in this year.
And assuming the rest of the scores hold, and we expect they will, Homestead will finish the year in a tie for second place alongside Carroll and Northrop. Obviously fell to the Chargers, but defeated the Bruins here at home in overtime. All right, Atticus, before we go, give me your final thoughts on this regular season as we turn our focus to postseason play in 2 weeks.
Well, we sort of talked about it, but the Spartans, they've been a team that they've been counted out due to a lot of their injuries and a lot of the other things, but they have now put themselves in a great position where they can go out and beat the Royals come sectional time. They have to believe it themselves, and they have been all year long, and they've delivered good game after good game. It's been a joy to broadcast this regular season. The playoffs brings a lot more excitement and a lot new energy.
Yeah, it's been fun, but we're not done yet. It is win or go home in 2 weeks' time. We're going to wrap things up here. Homestead closes out the regular season with a 42-0 win against Concordia. The Spartans will have a bye week next week. And on October 31st, Halloween night, join us. Sectional play will get underway against Hamilton Southeastern. We'll have that broadcast for you here at 7:30 p.m. over on the IHSAA Champions Network, but a fully produced Homestead Live broadcast. Until then, on behalf of the entire Homestead Live production team and color commentator Atticus